So the process is kind of a pain in the ass because I pulled in because it was late, but this thing's 60 foot long or more. This is like 32, but it's actually like bumper to bumper is like 34. And this is 24, but bumper to bumper is closer to like 25, 26. So I have the most narrow little driveway to pull into. So I'm gonna unload the car because we normally store the golf cart and stuff in here. Pull the car out, disconnect the camper, pull the camper up, hook it back to the truck because it's easier to maneuver, and then pull it in. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's got to get done. Let's do that. Look at this beautiful car. There's nothing wrong with it. Now that it's daylight, let's take a quick look at this butte. Before we tear into what we're going to do with that to make it usable and explain kind of what happened with it now that we've had time to talk to everybody and figure out what went wrong, here's what happened yesterday morning right after I got to work. The race had happened the night before. This is me getting to work. They say everything happens for a reason. Dude, he's cranking. Anyways, they say everything happens for a reason. About 10 hours ago, I destroyed a Ford Focus. And about 10 minutes ago, this dude showed up, bought a car, and he goes, you know what? I really only want a couple $100 for this thing on trade. I'm like, a couple hundred? He goes, yep. Should we send her, boys? Look at this thing. So, the thing about this car is it's not very valuable because it's a 1 year only EJ259 motor. And he's already done cats on it. He's done all the stuff that normally will fix the the P0420 code. So these constantly have 04 and 05 Outbacks have an issue where the ECU will stop reading the O2 sensors properly, and there's no fixing it. Subaru literally does not sell the ECUs for them. No matter what you do, no matter how many O2 sensors or cats you put in it, the engine light will never go off. And you cannot like take ROM rate or any of those things. You can't tune out these ECUs. So, a car that you can't inspect, can't really sell for much more than anything. She looks like a perfect ripper. Alright, now that everything's kind of disconnected, put away, take a look at this thing. So, when it was traded in, if you heard in the previous builds, videos that we put together, this was traded in. The guy said it couldn't even make it a mile without overheating. I burped the system, put about a gallon of coolant in it, and then I drove it about 10 miles over to our lot. Drove fine. So I thought it was good. Kyle only made it about 20 laps and started overheating, but he blew this tire on like the second lap. So I'm wondering if I yank out the thermostat and put in some ice cool, like it's an additive you can put in the radiator to keep it cool longer, if it would make it the 50 laps on the next one's only 50 laps. So even if the thing starts running hot by lap 40, hopefully we can just fucking mash it and get it through 50 laps if we end up doing that race. I don't know what race is coming next, but most of them are not 200 laps. That was a really long one. So I'm gonna pull it into the garage here at the house. I have the spare in the trunk still. Put the spare on it, take the thermostat out, refill it with water, and it should be good to go. All right, we got her pulled in. Dummy's here, it's got air in it, so let's do this. It's a good thing nobody actually was driving this car and had a flat. The tire iron is out of a different Subaru and literally doesn't even fit, so I didn't have the right tools with me, so this worked. Time to get this off. Alright, she's off. Looks like the brake light is on, which I assumed was for it hitting some of the rubber, taking out the brake lines back here, but they're actually intact. Messed up all the evap shit, but she's good. Fuel neck's still there. Put the dummy on. Alright, she's back. Time to yank the thermostat out of this thing. Alright, this is easy enough. A couple 10mm bolts on each side. Pull out the thermostat, put it back together, fill it back up, and it should run a lot longer. We got a finishing drain in here. This is how you know your car has a cracked head. See the exhaust coming right out that? See how that's not doing anything? That's gonna go with. Now it's coming out here again. The reason I say cracked head is that it's got like almost brand new head gaskets on it, so the chances are pretty good that there's something wrong with this when they put it back together, and that's why it doesn't make it very far. I don't know how far it's gonna make it now. It definitely eats coolant, but with that thermostat out, I'm hoping it just will keep cycling, stay colder longer. So we'll see. I just took her down the road a couple times, and temp is still down. So it's definitely not fixed by any means, but I'm hoping this will keep it from overheating so fast. It's definitely still a piece of shit, but whatever. One's back in the game, so yeah, check and see if there's brake fluid. It's been about 20 minutes here. It's definitely warm, but the temp gauge is still, the motor's surviving. So I'm gonna take it down the road now that it's been running for a while. See if it just shoots right up or what. See if we made it any better. Alright. It was definitely low on brake fluid, so I got that built back up. It's so loud. It's like quarter throttle. Alright, we made it back a couple trips now. This temp's still holding, so I'm gonna give it certified ready. I'm gonna look in the basement. I might have some head gasket sealer, that shit. This is terrible for engines, but it might help.